Thank you for joining into Glass Roses tonight. First of all, we want to thank you for tuning in last week with our special guest, Kendall Carr. Today's show is going to be about domestic violence. First, though, I do want to say hello to Lindsay over in her ISS detention corner
Hello.
and her fuck como sign.
That's right.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, again, this will be the last week. Unfortunately, Juanita is in quarantine, but we do have her here on the phone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Juanita.
How's everybody doing? I'm feeling better.
Good. So glad to hear it.
Had a lot last week, so.
In case you guys didn't know, which most of you do, Juanita was in a car accident last week, and I know you guys reached out to her. We're so grateful for that. Thank you for our supporters.
Hope you're feeling well.
Thank you. I am a lot better.
Good.
So, real quick, we have a very special guest. And when I mean special, I mean couldn't be more special, more proud of this woman. She is a friend of mine and Lindsay's. Juanita's not met her yet, but she has familiarized herself with Kathy's story. Before I introduce her or bring her on, though, we are going to share with you a compilation we made. Today we're going to be talking about Kathy's mother, Miss Catherine Hagerman, and we're just going to let it go. So please enjoy. That was the video of Kathy's mom, and here to talk about her mother's story is my very, very good friend, Catherine Chaluka.
Hi.
Kathy, thanks for joining us today.
Sure. Okay, so basically you just want me to tell the story of how things happened?
Please.
Okay, so October 17th, 2000, my mom was murdered by her live-in boyfriend of only 10 months. Pretty much they were in a pretty crazy relationship the whole time. There's over 30 calls of domestic violence in that short 10 months. The police were called out 30 times. There was never an arrest made, even though there were signs of domestic violence, which we'll get into that later. But yeah, pretty much he was pretty much hurting my mom from day one. I don't know why she stayed, but I don't know, something just made her stay with him. And pretty much after 10 months at 3 o'clock in the morning, my mother was fully dressed down to her shoes, and he was in his underwear. So we think that she was leaving him, and he caught her, and he shot her, and then he shot himself afterwards. And the coroner's report said pretty much that my mom's internal organs were so beaten that it was like someone who was in a traumatic car accident. So, like, her last hours of life were so traumatic, and I can't imagine what she was thinking and feeling. You know, it's just horrible. She left behind 3 kids, me and my younger brother and sister, who were 14 and 17 at the time, and I was 18. So pretty much the cowards stole our mother from us. No, it's so
Stole
crazy
a grandmother,
because,
right? Because you had just had a
yeah,
baby.
yeah, Gianna was 15 months old, and I was about 3 months pregnant with Cassidy. So yeah, me and my little brother are the ones who actually found my mother and her boyfriend dead. So
It's been
I don't know,
hard.
it's just so, you know.
It's been hard.
Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on to share your mom's story, though. I want to say thank you,
Yes,
Kathy.
thank you.
Now,
Yep,
I know
you're
Lindsay
welcome.
and I are, as many of you viewers might be, because it did happen here in Niagara Falls, familiar with the story. Are my co-host Juanita is not, so I know she might have some questions for you, Kathy.
Okay.
I, I do, if you don't mind. First off, I want to say thank you for coming on the show and sharing your story. I can't imagine what you've been through. How has this affected you over the years?
Well, I mean, it's had a traumatic effect on not only me, but my brother and my sister. I don't want to blame like my history on this.
Mhm.
Definitely think finding my mother shot in the face when I was 18 years old did play a huge part on the fact that I've
Absolutely.
struggled with addiction since about 2004. And now, March 8th, I'll have 4 clean.
That's
So
right. That's right, Kathy.
Congratulations. Absolutely.
Proud of you. Proud of
thank
you.
you. I mean, I don't totally blame this whole situation on it, but it definitely,
It plays a
I
role.
think
Yeah,
it played a role.
I imagine.
It's your
Um,
history.
Um, yeah.
It's your story.
do you have any advice for our viewers tonight who might be experiencing domestic violence?
I mean, my only advice and it's so hard to hear when you're in that situation, but you need to get out because that one time,
Amen.
Yeah.
that one time where things go out of control will be that time where your children won't have a mom or your parents will lose their daughter. It's that one time where things go too far. Yeah.
That's all it
Absolutely.
takes.
That's really all it takes.
And Catherine's mom, we were just realizing, was our age now when her life came to a tragic end, only 37 years old. And she was so full of life and love, that woman. She took me in off the streets when I was 16 with nowhere to go, 15, I think, with nowhere to go. And I mean, she
Yeah.
was just the most warm, giving, loving, caring, joking, funny, you know.
Yeah. She was,
Yeah.
it's crazy because my mom was never the type of woman to take BS from anyone.
No,
Never.
she wasn't.
No man could do anything to her.
Right.
No, none of that. She didn't put up with it. But something about this relationship just took control of her, and she was afraid. One time she actually left him and went to West Virginia with my grandparents' family,
Mm-hmm.
and he found her there and told her if she didn't come back that he was going to kill me and my daughter.
Oh,
So she came back. He used fear to control her.
that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Manipulation,
Yeah. Manipulation.
gaslighting, right? We talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just learned about gaslighting this year. So,
Kathy, how do you honor your mom today?
I honor her by trying to keep her memory alive and not letting her murder be, in vain. Like I try to tell my kids about her, and
Carry on
I visit.
traditions?
Yeah, absolutely. I visit her
Good.
grave on birthdays and on holidays, and just because I want to talk to her, I go there. You know, she's buried there with my daughter. So
God bless. Well,
yeah.
at least you're keeping her alive in your lives and you're sharing her memory and her story alive with your kids as well. She needs to be honored.
It's important to get the story out because so many women, myself included, I'm a survivor, but if you don't know somebody that it happened to, you can just say, oh, well, this stuff
Right.
never happens. But we know, we know, and it hit close to home, and she's from us, like she's a part of our people. And that is, we just want to spread awareness. Like, and if we can do anything to save a life tonight, if there's a girl out there watching that is afraid or something, like you could message one of us. We'll pray for you. We'll help you. We have the numbers going at the bottom of the line in honor of Kathy's mom. We have Lindsay? What numbers do we have up there?
We have women and families, crime victims, and women pinnacle. That number is 438-3301. We have the Y that's also listed that has help needed if need be, 433-6716. And then we have the National Crisis Hotline going across the screen. And you can reach out to any one of us women, and I can guarantee you we'll be there in a heartbeat.
So what I want to know, Kathy, is your mom's, the things that have happened, has that changed you in a relationship with how you were viewing men, and I know you're happily married now. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you because he's
Love
great
it.
for you and the kids. But until you did reach this, did it affect your relationships at all?
I think it did, and I mean, they say that like and I did find myself with some guys who were probably not the best choices. And, because of the things I was doing, I didn't feel like I was good enough or I deserved better. Even though I know what could happen, I still put up with it, you know.
Yeah.
Now that my head's clear and stuff like that, I know no woman deserves that. And, and there's men too that it happens to. It's not just.
Absolutely.
Thank you for saying that, because that's what we were going to touch on next. It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kim on Facebook says, think of her good memories of her. So,
yeah,
absolutely. She's a wonderful woman.
Yes, she was.
If any viewers do have any questions for Kathy, she's going to stay on for a few minutes, so we will take some questions for her, or if there's anything you'd like to say, any well wishes. I know it takes a brave woman, Kathy, to go through. Lindsay, like I said, know your story. We've known you since you were 15 years old, and we've watched you go through all this and still stand on your own, still raise your amazing children, still be there for your siblings. And I just want to give you
And
all
be able to
the
talk
credit.
about it.
Right. You're healing other women by
Proud
healing
of you.
yourself.
Proud
Thank
of you,
you.
Kathy. You are an amazing mom.
One thing, though, the laws then were a little bit different where, I think there was supposed to be an arrest made if there were any signs of domestic violence, but they've gotten stricter on that now because when this happened to my mom, we actually sued the Niagara Falls Police Department because they had been out there 30 times and no arrest had ever been made. So we had a wrongful death suit against them.
That's horrible.
So, yeah, but the laws have changed and they are better for women now.
I can agree on that.
One thing I do just want to say real quick is we do not in any way support women making false claims or false domestic violence, because they do that. There are you women, and you suck. You women suck. I'm sorry, not sorry. There's so many people that are getting right. And so the people who are being abused, number one, sometimes are afraid that people aren't going to believe them. Two, people sometimes are nasty and don't believe them. So we don't just believe things off the jump. Please stop doing that if you're doing that, because these dudes don't deserve that shit either. They don't deserve to have a false reputation if nothing happened, because there are really bad guys out there.
True.
There really are.
And they're not just reporting false, fake domestic calls. They're reporting fake rapes, fake everything. And I really wish police would start turning the camera on them when they find out a woman lied and made a false report, and charge them with making a false report, because it's not right. And it is one-sided when it comes to that. It's more heavy-handed for the women and not the men.
So I do want to say real quick that Juanita has graciously jumped off the line for a few minutes, so our phone lines are open. If anyone would like to call in, share a story, ask Kathy a question.
Absolutely.
Peter will put our phone number up.
Yeah, it's 716-359-6170. 716-359-6170.
Kristen, you are correct on Facebook. I agree with you.
False reports are BS.
They are. They need to be handled. If police actually, went against whoever made the false report, maybe would stop all the fake reports that get, and stop wasting the police time. And the DA's office.
I'll tell you, too, it puts a stigma out there. One time I went to the hospital for having, I think it was 8 broken ribs, and I had to take my kids with me, and they just looked at me when I went in there like, I'm sure if you want pain meds, you can find another avenue. And I was like, what? They just arrested him. I'm walking in here, and it's embarrassing, and it's hard for women sometimes to go get that help or to open up, because sometimes we do get shunned at, or we looked at her like, what did you do to deserve this? And first of all, nothing. I'm going to tell you this. There's nothing any woman can fucking do. Literally, you men, even though I can't stand you, are physically stronger than us women. Be a man and turn around and walk out if she's running her mouth, because that's why I'll keep it real, because my mouth hurt their feelings, and they weren't man enough to walk away, so women get hit sometimes.
And sometimes women are quick-handed. I'm going to say I'm not innocent.
That's a different story, Lindsay. That's a different story.
No, women, when they're arguing with their man or their husband, women, if men get too close, a woman's going to push their face back. You know what I mean? And that'll initiate
If
something.
a woman puts her hands on a man, then you're opening up a door. I'm saying if a woman does not put their hands on you and is only cackioning, running at the mouth like diarrhea, who gives a shit? Because that's what we do. You don't have a right to put your hands on them.
No.
And we know,
Absolutely not.
remember that story, girls, when we were younger, who was that that pushed that girl? They weren't even really fighting, but he pushed her and she smacked her head and it became a vegetable. Her head. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Anything can happen because you dudes are stronger. You could not even even be meaning to hurt somebody. I know somebody personally that was fighting a dude and a girl jumped in and the dude hit her and he went to prison for 6 years. Like,
Wow.
that's not a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You're right. I agree.
Not to say I'm scared of hitting dudes, because I'm
Kim
not.
on Facebook says a man should never hit a woman. That's a no-no. No excuse. I agree 100%. I have 3 sons, and I tell them every day it's not worth it. Don't do it. You walk away.
Juanita, you are right. It
Call
is
me.
hard to get help. People are scared.
You know, if your woman's acting crazy and you really need help, call your mama. I'll be there in a second.
So would I.
Don't you dare touch a woman. You got too much going in your life.
Hi, Dan. Dan joined us. What's up?
Hey, Dan.
You're not a man, Kim, when you hit a woman. You're not. And that's I have 3 sons as well, and I don't even want them to hit their sisters. And I know Kathy has a mix of girls and boys too. I mean, her girls are bigger and older, most of them, but you know, we don't promote that, because if a boy can grow up thinking it's okay to put his hands on a sister or anyone else, they're going to grow into men that think it's okay to slap around a girl, and it's not okay. It's just not, in no way, shape, or form.
Kathy, I have a question for you. How are your kids handling this with your mom not around? Do they feel like they know her, and are they keeping you strong about it, or you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
before
you answer, let's just say poor Kathy has been hit with tragedy. Her children also lost their father, another friend of ours, Ben. So she's really, when I mean strong woman, I mean she has raised these kids with losing their grandmother, losing their father. She lost her mother. She's just an incredible woman that we all need to, you know. But you can answer a question now. I just wanted the viewers to know, like, the capabilities of your strength and how you've persevered with this.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Pretty much, you know, the only one of my kids that was here when my mom was alive was Gianna, and she was only 18 months old. But, you know, I let them know what happened. They all know the situation. They all know that my mom was completely crazy in love with Gianna, and she would have been the same way with them. You know, so, you know, I don't know. I have some extremely resilient children who are my strength on more days than not, you know, so I've raised some good kids, and they've gone through losing. My old 3 have lost their dad and their sister, and you know, they've been through a lot.
Through hell, and you made it through hell and back, for real.
Liz, our viewer, says she believes that nurses and aides need to have more training on how to deal with someone that comes in after domestic violence, as well as cops, how to handle them. How were the cops with you, Kathy? Were they, like, considerate of your feelings? Were they, I mean, what experiences did you have with the Niagara Falls police?
Well, I will say, you know, the guy who killed my mom, Billy, he was friends with Niagara Falls police officers, and that he actually worked at a shop down the street from where they lived, and he worked on their cars. So yeah, nice. I mean, it's a whole other story, but pretty much this man had over 400 weapons in a room in his house that he got in exchange for working on police officers' cars.
Ridiculous.
And that's why they looked the other way, 30 domestic violence calls, because they were friends with him. And when me and Steven actually found her, we were there with an off-duty police officer, Steve Baum, who was friends with Billy. He's the one that let my little brother into the upstairs window because the house was locked up. And, you know, these police acted like Billy wasn't that way. So my mother must have done something to push it.
See, that's what I can't fucking stand.
They're being the judge and the jury a lot of times.
Yeah, they weren't helpful to us. They weren't sympathetic to us. They were awful. Awful.
See, and that doesn't help anything. And you guys were the victims. Like, let me stop. My blood pressure's going up.
I guess it depends.
They throw in like that. You know, my mother and Billy were drinking, and that alcohol had to be a factor. And you know, I mean, there was at least 30 calls of domestic violence. Alcohol was not a factor every single time.
Alcohol should never
regardless
be
whether it was or not. Where were they doing their due diligence in separating them or arresting Billy any one of those 30 times before or leading up to your mother's murder?
Right.
I don't see due diligence being done.
You know, they had just excuses, and that's why they ended up losing the lawsuit, you know, because they were wrong.
Oh, you sued them? You sued the police?
Yeah, we did.
I was just going to ask you if you guys followed through with that.
Yep, we did. And we won.
Awesome. I mean, listen,
Thank you.
I'm going to tell you, I've had domestic violence in my close family. I won't discuss who, with their husband, and it's been an ongoing battle. And the things that I see, like I never knew you could get a restraining order where they actually allow the man back in the house on a restraining order.
If there, it's
What
called
the
no. It's
hell?
called a refrain from order, not restraining. Now watch your words because we don't want to get technical.
Okay.
And I know
They
because I've
adjust
had
it.
15 of them. It is called a refrain from order, and what that means is they have to refrain from stalking, harassing, hitting. Like they did that in the first place. First of all, those pieces of papers are horse shit. I had one on my second husband. No names will be named, Johnny Bravo. But this MFer came after me with a machete at a bar. This is a true story. After the restraining order, he came in to a bar in Lockport in front of at least 60 people with a machete and was on camera. And we had a restraining order. A restraining, not a
And they
refrain
didn't do
from.
nothing about that?
He went to jail because they found cocaine in his car.
But not for the machete.
Well, no. I mean, he ended up, the bar was going to try to press charges on him, but that's not why they were going to take him to jail. And I'm like, and we all know he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, had they have done their work, why? Because, again, he grew up in the town. His mom was friends with the judge. They all knew his name. Well, thank God I didn't end up, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could have got worse. Like, what if that would have fell into me or whatever?
I'm just going to say it. In Niagara Falls and surrounding suburbs in this area, it is about who you know.
Yes, it is.
And that that is a huge factor in all of things. Court proceedings, with the police, even in the hospitals. Okay? So it is about who you know and how things will be handled and, you know, what they get their opinion of you. You know, cops make an opinion of each caller. And if they have to keep coming back to that same house, they're going to form an opinion.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it don't always sway in the woman's favor, I'll tell you that.
Plus, Kathy's mom was loud and spoken like we were. So I'm sure if when they came, she wasn't kissing ass, you know what I mean? She probably put them in their place a few times, right, Kathy? I mean, I've had to guess because...
Right. There was times where she would defend him when the cops would come, you know, and she would just say, you know, things just got out of hand, but we're fine. But she would be standing there with a gushing nose, you know, so, you know, they still were wrong because if there's any signs of abuse from either party, someone's supposed to go to jail.
DA
you know?
can pick that up.
Right.
So a viewer, Patty, just said a couple years ago she was getting beat up right on Pine Avenue by an ex. An off-duty cop pulled over, grabbed the dude off her, and when she tried to press charges, said, well, I'm not on duty. I can't help you.
Then you call...
That's bullshit. Whoever you were, NFPD, that's bullshit.
That's more than bullshit. I don't know if you deserve to be a cop if that's how you're
Well, you
acting.
don't, but I'm just going to say it's bullshit.
It's more than bullshit.
Juanita, if you want to call back in and if you have something to
she's
say,
commenting.
go ahead. Yeah, because
She's commenting.
I don't think we're going to get any calls, so if you want to come on back, that's A-okay with us.
So Kathy, did you have any backlash with Niagara Falls Police after the lawsuit?
Not really because I didn't really get into any legal trouble, so I really didn't have any run-ins with the cops in that aspect. But I know my brother definitely did. You know, I know he had some bad things happen to him when he ended up in High Park lockup.
Are you serious?
Cops were not, yeah, they were not nice to him at all. But I mean that also, I'm not saying it was fully because of that, because he was an asshole. So it could have been because of that. You know.
It's like 50-50, flipping a coin. You don't
Right.
know.
But so let's touch on that. So we know Steven personally, and like he wasn't always an asshole. The kid saw his mother with, you know what I mean, in that situation, like you did, Kathy. I mean, who could really? I don't know that I've met anyone in my life that could view something like that and be completely normal and okay for the rest of their life. I don't know, and I'm being honest. I don't know what I would have. I mean,
I don't think anybody can. I agree with you.
Right. No. I didn't mean like an asshole like that. I mean, when he was arrested and stuff, he probably was talking crap.
Probably.
So, you know, but.
Hothead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all got that. It must be Lacell water, Niagara Falls water, something.
Must be.
It's in the air. Screw it.
Well,
It's in the air.
we were a bunch of hotheads when we were younger, though.
We were.
We still are.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I will neither admit nor deny.
Lindsay, you have a picture of Como with a cock in his mouth behind
Listen,
you.
I will
Do
neither.
you want your close up of that
Yes,
one?
close.
Yeah, do the close up. I will neither admit nor deny who did that. I will just say I don't mind it being there. You know, he's peeking. He's got his mouth open, and you know.
The opinions expressed in this show do not.
I mean, Como. Fuck Como.
Andrea said it's in the Niagara Falls is a cesspool because the garbage mountain.
It is. That Love Canal, let's not forget all that
Dan
shit.
said,
Love
"Don't
Canal
drink
happened.
he said, "Drink bottled water only. Don't drink the tap water in the falls."
No, can't do that.
Como's an asshole. Yes, he is.
Fuck Como. I will not admit nor deny who did that artistry for me, though. It was, it's very.
It was a combined effort.
It's very detailed. I gotta say, I don't have no quarrels with it.
We're not going to tell who did it? Okay.
This is my ISS desk. I'll be just fine in this. Corner.
Lindsay's in detention. For those of you that don't know what ISS is, it's in school suspension, and that's where we've stuck her in the corner with Como.
Oh, jeez. Yes, I was in ISS quite a lot.
All right, so Kathy, is there anything else that you just want to get out there? Tell anyone you could shout anybody out, anything that you
Can
want
I
to
ask
say?
a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
As the producer here, I just stay back and operate things, Kathy. And your story is compelling. I helped Crystal put together the video, and as I mentioned to you earlier, it was very poignant. It was very powerful because you could see the joy in life that she had with her family. Have you done any counseling or victim counseling in any way? Have you participated in anything where maybe you've met other people who have experienced this type of loss? Has that been part of your life?
I did do some counseling. I did some grief counseling and stuff like that. And I also, because I don't know exactly what caused this, but I have like some memory lockage, they say.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much I've blocked out some of the things that have happened. So I did some rapid eye movement therapy, which was supposed to like jog my memory and bring things back so that I could remember and deal with the stuff that happened. But honestly, it was just so horrific, and the stuff that I was remembering, I just stopped going because you know what? I want to remember my mom the way
The good
that
memories.
I remember, so, I think I'm dealing with it the way that I should now. And I don't need to do the counseling to do that, but I think it would be great for people that need it.
Fresh. When it happens fresh.
Have you ever thought of offering counseling, like or participating in group efforts and stuff like that to help people cope?
Like a
Like
mentor?
Or
Yeah.
speaker.
I always said I was going to do something, and I used to tell my grandma a long time ago that I wanted to see if I could like help with the hospitals when they had domestic violence like groups and stuff. But honestly, I was so caught up for like a big chunk of my life that I never got to do that. But that is one of the things that I'm hoping I can get into now.
You can do it, Kathy. We have faith in you. Look at how far you've come already. Your story is like a miracle in itself. So there's nothing stopping you, woman.
I'm
I
proud
know,
of you, Kathy.
I know.
I'm so proud.
Stopping was me. I was stopping myself, so.
Hey, I mean, listen, we all have our own story and our own road we have to go down, and doesn't matter how many twists and turns are in that road, as long as you're on it, and you didn't fall off course. You're going strong and you're going hard. You're independent. You got your.
Oh,
Here we go, Juanita.
I think it is. Hang on, Juanita.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, you're doing well.
You're on, Juanita.
Hi. Sorry. It's a little bit of a delay.
is there anything else that you'd like to say to Kathy or ask her or mention at all?
One thing, what's one thing you would like people to take away from this story?
Basically, the biggest thing I think is that, I would just want someone to know that just don't wait. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't keep in your head that it won't be me, it can't be me, because I'm sure my mom thought the same thing, that it would never be her to this degree.
Yeah.
That's the biggest. Just don't wait until it's too late. That's the biggest thing I want someone to take from this, because once it's too late, there's no going back. And then you're left with the wreckage of your family that has to deal with everything, you know?
And I think
Absolutely.
I think women gotta not say this is the last time. You know, he won't do it again. He won't do it again. No, ladies, if he's doing it and he's not getting help, he will do it again.
What is the help? If he wasn't going to do it, he wouldn't have did it in the first fucking place. I
Exactly.
said what I said.
Yeah.
And if you're a family member or friend, hound them, hound them, hound them, hound them, hound them as much as you can, because they're not going to tell you the truth. You might have to do your own little investigation. You might have to do your own little legwork to take care of it.
Right.
And whoever's being beat, you got to kind of build their self-esteem up and give them confidence and say, you could do this on your own. You'll find somebody else. You know, you got to keep pushing that, because I think a lot of women lose who they are because that man is chipping away at it.
And going along with the physical, when a man is beating you, he's also mentally down. You, no one's going to want you. You're a piece of shit. You're this, you're that. And I will say, as being a survivor, I've thought about leaving in different situations. Lindsay, you know, Kathy, you know, you've been friends with me forever. Like, I'm not going to call him out. There's no need to. But for many years, it did go on. And there was a lot of times where I'd feel like, man, I got 5 kids. What am I going to fucking do? Like, and he wasn't doing shit to help me either. He really was just hurting me and holding me down. But I was so scared. And once I actually, it got so bad after my dad died that it was just so bad that there was no going back. My life has been freer somehow. Even though there's been twists and turns, there's no weight. There's no, am I going to walk in the door and get hit? There's no nothing. And God has provided when I haven't had nothing.
And there's different forms of abuse. It's not just all physical. It could be mental and emotional.
Absolutely.
And that could be just as damaging and more hurtful than
More
being punched in the
damaging.
face. Yes. I mean, because that mental abuse and that emotional abuse, it takes a while to build that back up. It takes a while. You put up walls, you put up barriers, and, I mean, women are discouraged daily because they just don't have the confidence in themselves.
Knowing those walls that they built up inadvertently stop other blessings and other friendships and other relationships because they don't trust anybody. That's why I asked Kathy how her relationships were, because it takes a toll on your mental, on your heart, on everything. And
I agree, Andrea and Kim. Andrea and Kim on Facebook have 2 good points there. Be positive reinforcements, and, you know, agreeing with the mental abuse is just as bad as the physical. I agree.
Juanita and I were talking a couple weeks ago about gaslighting, and how that ties like into narcissism and everything else. And what it really is if for you ladies that don't know, it is a form of abuse. Even if they don't touch you, it's smoke and mirrors, and they will play the victim to the fullest. They're like little babies, when in turn, really, you're not doing anything wrong. They are. It's a defense mechanism to them, but it makes you feel like you're a piece of shit or feeling guilty for wanting better for yourself. And that should never make you feel guilty.
They'll
Ever.
deflect. Men will deflect when you're being abused. They'll deflect so they can reverse it, so they look innocent after what they just did, you know, and they will deflect and they will try to make themselves
let's
be
not
the
say
victim.
just men. Let's say narcissists and abusers, because
right.
there are women. I know there are women who are abusers.
Yeah,
we'll own up to
there is.
it. Not me, but women.
I'm not an abuser, but I can't say I've always kept my hands to myself. I'm not innocent. I've put my hands on people throughout the years.
I put my hands on people, but like other girls, a couple guys, but now we weren't in a relationship, and they deserve it.
Yeah, but see, I have.
Like I beat up one of my friend's baby's daddies because he put his hands on her. Does that count?
I'm not gonna recall situations and with who. I'm just not gonna go that route. I'm not gonna go that route. You can.
I will. I did. So, let's see.
I had to defend myself. But it was never just a
reverse psychology is real, Andrea. It is.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. And they're good at it, too. It's like they're masters when they want to be.
Who? Abusers or men?
Abusers.
Not the same. What do you mean, motherfucking master?
I said they're, oh, my Lord.
Just trying to lighten it up a little bit.
Oh, my Lord. Where's the jack? Where's the jack?
We have a question, Kathy, from Chantel. She wants to know, do you believe being a child, watching it growing up, that it is harder to be a child going with your parents to go through it or going through it as an adult? Like, do you think it was harder being a child watching that or to actually go through it yourself when you were being abused?
Well, I think that, I was 18 and like I said, it was just like a 10-month period. But I think that watching it happen to your mother definitely was harder for me in that moment because, there's nothing you can do to stop it because you're a kid, and it doesn't seem like for one instance, the police actually were called once, me and Franny.
Oh, hi, Franny, if you're watching, we love you.
Where's Franny?
We were bringing Gianna to my mom, and we were going to go to bingo, so we were dropping her off there, and Billy actually pulled into the parking lot across the street, and he was just wailing on my mom in the car. So, I had given Gianna to Franny, and I went over there, and I started fighting this man who was triple my size, and my mom was like, don't call the cops, I'm fine, we're fine, just take the baby and leave, blah, blah, blah. So I called the police. The police came and they almost arrested me for hitting him.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I've been there. My mom, you know what, she may be watching. Mom, forgive me.
Hi,
I'm
Tammy.
sorry. It is what it is. But, my mother was being abused, and me being how I am, and her, how she's raised me, and how other family members have raised me and said, you never let nobody hit you, ever. Male, female, you always defend yourself. And we've also been raised to defend our family beyond any means. And watching my mother get beat up while I was pregnant with my son, and she got her nose broke, that was the hardest, not to jump in because I knew this person would hit my stomach. Absolutely would. So, being a kid and having to watch your mom at any age.
Oh, your mom chimed in, Lindsay, and Tammy said, no, you're all right. Fuck Molly. She said, she said, mental and verbal abuse are the worst. A bruise goes away, but the verbal stays in your mind. Self-esteem for a long time. It could be a man, child, anyone. And Tammy, you are correct.
And you know what? It does. No matter how old you are and you're watching your mother go through that, a child, you feel helpless. An adult, you could feel just as helpless because they're not living up to their own advice.
Not just that, but no one wants to see their parents.
Right. You wanna do something, then you get mad when they don't want to stand up for themselves. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You got to keep saying that. What are you doing? What are you doing? But I got to give my mother credit. She has stood up for herself and changed some things, and I'm proud of her for that. But
shout out to Tammy.
My mother will always be a thorn in my side. I love her. I do love her, but she drives me fucking crazy.
Well, what mothers don't? She did catch us sneaking in the window. And
told us to take the door next time.
Did.
Okay, well then I'm gonna take the answer machine, the pager.
Lindsay took the phone because we stole the car. Don't tell nobody. Tammy, you're watching this now. I know, but we did take the car one night. Lindsay took your house phone.
Night, every night.
Well, you're snitching on us, people.
All the time. As long as we were home by 7 a.m., I knew we were good. She wasn't getting up. I knew we were good.
Chantel said, thank you, great pops to all our mamas. Andrea said, I grew up watching my mom get verbally abused, and it made me a better person. Chantel said, I've been through it all, pregnant with my mother, being beaten as well, and having it happen to me and my children, witness it. And I just want to speak on that for a minute. Y'all know I got 5 kids, right? They're all the same baby daddy, whatever, but they're all very different children, and they grew up watching me and my ex-husband go at it, and they've all handled it in different ways. I have 1 introvert, I have 2 extroverts, and then thank God my twins really run around it, but it has affected them in ways like the way my son talks to girls, the way he views girls is like how his father was, unfortunately, and his father and I are working together now. I will give my BM some credit. He's trying to help me, because we were in bad places then, and he is trying to show my son that's not the way. But once there's so many things ingrained in watching them, like they say, do as I say, not as I do. Well, we could speak to our kids till we're blue in the face, but if they watch us for 10, 12, 15 years doing other things, that's still going to be what's ingrained in them.
It's how it all falls under how children are raised. They're watching it. You don't got to teach them that.
Right.
They're watching it.
They're feeling it. They feel the vibes,
Yeah. So, thank you, Joe, for stepping back up.
He has. I will say thank you to my kid's father. He has stepped up recently, which makes a big difference. Yeah, thank you. Thank you to all the single fathers out there that are stepping up this year, because single mamas need that.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to shout out to all them fathers that never stepped down, too.
Right, you're right.
They need to be shout out, because they've been there through thick and thin, and they need to be shout out, too.
Stepdad, so let's touch back. Kathy's husband has been, we've been following her on Facebook, because obviously we're friends, but seeing what he does for them, the love he pours out, the home environment, he has helped Kathy, right? Like, she is a completely different woman than she was 3 years ago, and the change in her from the support from this man, not saying he changed her, but him supporting her to being who she is and being the mother she is, like that type of love, and I will, that goes a long way. And to the men who date single mothers like my boyfriend, y'all are the real MVPs too, because it takes a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you.
What?
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah, Lindsay set me up with my dude. Thanks, Lindsay.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Lindsay.
You're welcome.
And Juanita knows too, you know what I mean? She's got someone in her life that steps up and helps, that is not, the parent. And Juanita herself has stepped up to her son. I'm not going to say stepson because we don't use that word, but she has been raising her son Andrew for years and years and years. And she, even when her husband was overseas, right? She did this by herself, went and got this boy and just completely, stepped up to the plate, which most men and women don't want to do, especially if they don't have any of their own kids, which she did not at the time. So big props to Juanita and to men and women that stand up and want to take care. And Rob, Kathy's husband, Robert.
As I'm sitting here listening to all our stories, we are 4 blessed, strong, wonderful women.
Amen.
And I'm just hoping we're reaching out to a viewer tonight to give them some confidence if they're feeling moments of weakness. We're here. We're here. We're not going nowhere. Trust me. We're some resilient bitches, okay? We're not going no fucking where. We're not. If you need us, we'll be there. Hey, I know I will. I always like helping people out, and I know Crystal will too, and Juanita.
Kathy will pray for you. If you want to talk to someone, I'm sure if you don't want to message her directly and you want one of us message us, and we'll give your message to Kathy. If you want to talk to her and it's not online, like we have a network of women, not just here, not just the ones that are on the phone. We have friends. We have a network that we want to see. We're not millionaires. We don't have money. We can't give you, but what we can do is be there for you. We can support you. We can point you in the right direction. We can try to be a crying shoulder to you, something.
Give the best advice we can.
Right.
And no judgment,
Absolutely
that's important.
No judgment.
I hear you, Mom.
So,
I hear you, Mom.
Lindsay's mom said, women get trapped, and you're right, Tammy, we do, and scared and feel trapped. We have to get strong and know we can do it without a man. It is the best feeling, because once you do it, Tammy, and I'm so proud of you too, once you do step away, Kathy's done it, I've done it. Lindsay hasn't done it because she's got a good boyfriend. Shout out to Big W, okay? But that's 23 years going strong, so we're not including you in this conversation. But Juanita's done it too. Like, we've had to start over again and by ourselves, and it's scary as shit. But once you do it, you feel amazing. Hashtag Freebird. Like, you own your shit, girl. Like,
hey, man, I've been with my man for over 20 years, and we've had our struggles, though. It wasn't easy. We got together when we were young teenagers, and we're in our
Carter says, best 40s. Show yet. Very empowering. Thank you, Carter. Chantel said, great show. I have cried, sad, mad, and happy tears. This is what we are about. Let's make that. We want to help you. We want to be there for you. We want to share. We want to get Kathy's mom's story out there, because it does matter. She mattered. What happened to her mattered. What happened to all of you matters. It matters to us, even if it doesn't matter to the rest of that cruel fucking world out there.
And on that
it matters.
On that tip, what does matter right now? Glass Roses women are trying to raise food to support struggling families due to COVID. Can the public out here please help share our post that we post on our page? We're trying to collect food. We'll even collect household items. I noticed some parents or families wanted household needs and furniture, and then we had a family willing to donate it. So I will be that middleman. I'll do that. I don't mind. But we are trying to collect food to give to struggling families who are. This will definitely be 100% confidential. You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
But we do need the donations coming in, and I know this community is stronger than what we've had
PayPal,
going on
Cash App.
right now. So-
Liz, no, we do not have a PayPal Cash App set up yet, but what you can do if you do want to do something, mail me a gift card. You can do that. I'll give you my address because I know you personally. We have had a few donations. Kennedy's Custom Roofing and Siding has donated. Dana Carr Jr. and Kate, his fiancée Kate, have donated a cab ride. Glass Roses has donated food. And also, in case you missed, we have donated a $10 gift card from Office Max because somebody knows somebody who cannot print a resume right now, who can't,
Right.
these are little things that you might not seem.
It matters.
It matters.
It matters. But, I think I have more confidence that we could get more donations coming in and we can start feeding more families that are really, really being hit hard with the struggle of losing their job due to COVID, business shutting down, whatever the case may be. We're also taking in names of families that are struggling. So if you know a friend or family member, they're not going to come forward, put their name up. And trust. It don't got to be said. It don't got to be talked about. Just tell us where they live. We'll knock on their door, hand it to them, and be on our way.
If you message our page, the only people that will see the message are myself, Lindsay, and Juanita, and we are not going to put you on blast. We are not going to.
No shame, no embarrassment. Listen, we all hit hard times. And our community, we need to be there, especially for these folks that are going through this.
You know what Gabe said? It may sound crazy, and Kathy, she was asking if this is, to you too, but every bit of mental, physical, and emotional abuse she ever went through, she does not regret a minute of it. It helped mold her into the woman she is, and it helped her to stop, not to allow her daughter to grow up thinking that the abuse she went through was love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mom, I know you have food to donate.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kathy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say that actually, like, everything that was bad that I went through got me to this point right now, so
Yes.
As hard as some of the things may have been, and self-inflicted too, as hard as they were, I don't think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So everything happens for a reason,
Hearts fall where they fall for a purpose.
And I can tell you, Kathy, I never thanked you for this. I'm going to publicly thank you without telling this story. Kathy went through some hard times, whatever. We've always been there. When she got out of her dark cloud, the first place she came to was my house to try to make right what it didn't even need to do. But, I will never forget, I have got your back 100% till the wheels fall off. Be damned anything. You jump, I jump.
We love you, Kathy.
Thank you so much for joining in, Kathy. Thank you. I hope your story touched a woman, touched a man, touched anybody that knows somebody. We just hope we touch somebody, not inappropriately, but
Yeah. We do need to mention that.
Do need to mention what?
Don't know who's listening.
Oh yeah, we have a little bit of haters, just a little bit. But that's okay, because they season our sauce, and we love them too, and we're thankful that they're watching and tuning in and trolling,
Any emotion is love.
It is, and I told them the trolls are like dolls. When we get tired with toys, we just throw them away. Kobe! Sorry.
But all our Facebook viewers tonight, if you could please share that Glass Rose post and help spread the word into the community, help push it. Maybe if they see more people sharing it, the momentum will start growing.
I'm going to make a $25 donation right now in Kathy's mom's name to our cause. Good. So let's just start that off. That's going to be in memory of Kathy's mom. Thank you, Kathy. I can't tell you, it was so brave of you to come on here with us.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for having me and let me share my mom's story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You shared your story, too, though, Kathy.
You did.
This is the road you traveled down to.
Oh.
What'd you say, hon?
No, it was me over here. Your mom's alive in you. Mm-hmm. You can see it.
She is. She is.
Amen.
You're carrying her on. You're cherishing her memories. And listen, I see her post. You're cooking damn every day. Listen, you can drop off a plate to me any day you would like.
Speaking of which, we still have a food date, Miss Kathy, that we have not concluded.
You
We
can
do.
cook. I will give you that.
Us and 10 kids plus
you.
some.
I'd be like, damn,
Right.
Kathy be whipping it up, and I
She
would be
does. She
crying.
be making me hungry. And I cook
Yes.
so it makes me hungry.
Leggings. I can't wear nothing but leggings now.
Girl, wait. Look at this, okay? We do
Listen,
that.
I'm trying to tell y'all, I've been drinking ketone, and I've been losing weight literally sitting on my ass.
I'm not
okay?
drinking that keto shit. I like my
Sitting
food.
on my ass, losing the pounds.
Well, it's
Slowly,
not
but
like it's
that's
not big
good.
enough to hold your body, that fat ass you got.
Listen, bitch. You ain't too far away from me.
Oh, I know, but Dan likes it, so it's okay.
Okay.
My daughter said I got a flat.
You don't got no flat ass.
I know I don't. My daughter's, I hate her. I love you, though, Gia. Again,
She's just messing
here
with
we
you.
go again, putting these numbers up before we sign off in a few minutes for women and families crime victims. Also, did we touch? I need to say this number out loud because I don't think we did. Lindsay and I called the law enforcement agencies last week, and the staggering number just in
Oh, shit, we
2020
didn't
for
mention that.
reported domestic violence, 3,280. Are you fucking kidding me?
Them were actually arrested cases, convicted.
In Niagara County alone, just in 2020.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Extremely higher than in 2019, 2018. And not only has domestic got raised, child abuse has got raised. Cases of child abuse, children being beat at home. So, you know, CPS, oh man, I don't know what to
We're
say
not going to
about
get into
that.
it this week because we still have a few more agencies to get
Yeah.
the numbers for, but the numbers are staggering.
The numbers are out of control.
Is it due to
Out of
COVID? Is it
control.
not? Oh, no. Find out next week on Glass Roses.
Absolutely.
So we are going to be signing off here. Again, I just want to say thank you to, I know she's not on the phone anymore, Juanita. Thank you for calling in. We'll see her in the studio next week. Kathy, I fucking love you. I'm so fucking proud of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. I just love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Lindsay, fuck Como. We got
See
her
it.
all set. Fuck,
You
stop
see
domestic violence.
Fuck Como.
Fuck
Fuck
Como.
Como. Suck a dick.
But let's stop domestic violence in the process.
Yeah, maybe we could stop domestic violence if Como gets out of office.
Okay, Lindsay, and on that note, we do want to thank you for
Hate
tuning
'em.
in to Glass Roses. We will be here next week, Tuesday at 9. Find out this week what our surprise topic is. I'm sure it'll keep you quite interested.
Love you, Christine Wagner on Facebook. See
Love you, Christine. Kathy, we love you. Peter, oh, wait. I almost forgot the most important thing. Brett Byro, if you're listening, the madman, happy fucking birthday, oh man.
Mm-hmm. How was I saying happy birthday?
Happy
earlier?
birthday, fucker.
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 Happy birthday, fucker.
We love you here at Glass Roses.
Happy birthday.
Bye, y'all.